Hello everyone and welcome to a new build order guide. Today we're going to be having a look at a build order played recently by Parting in Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. Almost every single Protoss versus Terran he played this specific build order. It looked strong, it has a lot of potential, but it is a very difficult build to execute. This is definitely an intermediate build. Nonetheless, if you are lower level and you want to try it, feel free to try and hit the timings that Parting managed to hit. Now, let's have an in-depth look at this build, because this is nowhere near a regular build order. So we're gonna go through this with a rather slow speed. The first part we can do a bit quicker though. We open up with a 14 supply pylon, and afterwards we get a 16 supply gateway. Now note immediately that we're not chrono boosting our nexus right here. We're keeping all the chrono boost on our nexus. We're going to be going up to 17 workers, 16 on minerals, and we will rally our 17th worker towards our natural, which is over here. This worker will build a nexus and then will be tasked to move across the map to find a location for a proxy pylon. Now, if you think of proxy pylon locations, try to pick a location that isn't in a natural scouting path. If you're playing against Terran, a Reaper might jump down from here, so you don't want to build it here. You don't want to build it here. Perhaps not even here. SCV might scout here, might come over here. So all of these areas are a no-no. This might be a good area. This might be a good area. This might be fine. I think I pretty much got the closest one covered right now. You could also build it over here, but a little bit risky still. Okay, back to the build. 17 Nexus, 17 Assimilator before we build another worker, and then we get our 18th worker. We rally that straight towards the gas. This worker, however, is not going to go into the gas. Or well, actually it's going to go into the gas. You grab another worker, sorry, I thought he was going to use this worker to build a cybercore, but you grab another worker to build a cybercore as fast as you can. This should be going down around 124, 125 in game time. The moment your gas finishes, you want it saturated completely with everything. You need every single bit of gas that you can with this build, otherwise you won't be able to afford it. Now, this is where it becomes interesting. The moment we have money available with constant pro production after the cybercore, we want to start a pylon on the other side of the map. This pylon will allow us to proxy a gateway there. This gateway will allow us to get fast warp-ins on the other side of the map. Don't forget, a pylon with a gateway next to it warps in faster than a pylon without a nexus or a gateway next to it. We are not chrono boosting our nexus once during this build, not a single time. We start our warp gate, we chrono boost it, then we start an adept, which we also chrono boost. We start a gateway on the other side of the map. The gateway actually, needs to go down before you start your warp gate and your adept. So the moment this pylon finishes, we're proxying a gateway right here with this probe. Then when our cybercore finishes, we immediately chrono boost our warp gate. And we start an adept once gas allows it, which we also chrono boost. We will have a small cut in workers here because we can't afford it. Right now we can again, but for half a second we can't. That is okay, that is normal. Continue workers as quickly as you can again. The moment you have money available with constant worker production on both the main and the natural, throw down a third gateway. Continue chronoing the warp gate as the first chrono wears off. We're gonna chrono our warp gate 3 times in total. The moment money allows it, we'll get a stalker. Try to keep building probes, but you might need another small cut in order to afford that stalker. The moment this gateway finishes, we need to start an adept here immediately. Please note my choice of words, immediately. That means right away. Don't wait 5 or 10 seconds, it will ruin the timing of your build. Boom, adept starts. If you need to, you can cut a worker for it, but you shouldn't have to. We just used our third chrono boost on our warp gate as well, and we will be moving across the map with our adept as our stalker gets closer to finishing up. We are not chrono boosting this adept. We are not chrono boosting our nexus or this nexus. We have 3 chrono boosts invested into this warp gate and 1 chrono boost initially into that adept. Nothing else is getting chrono boosted. Take note. Our second gas gets taken on the low ground before we do our first warp in. We also get a third pylon, which we can build at our natural or use as a spotter in our main base. I prefer it at my natural as well. We keep the Stalker at home. This will be our way to deal with a threat like a late Reaper, a Hellion showing up unexpected. All of these things this Stalker will take care of. Don't send him across. Once our second Adept finishes up, our Warp Gate should properly line up with that. The moment our Warp Gate finishes, 3 gateways should be completely done and we should be capable of warping 3 Adepts in on the other side of the map. The timing for this should be no later than 320, but 318 is the fastest I've seen it hit and the fastest I've been able to reproduce. That is our aim. If it's later than 320, try again against the AI before you take this to the ladder. Or if you're lower level, try to get it as close as possible as you can to this timing, because it's important that you hit very, very tight. The reason for that is simple. Cure went for the fastest possible tank, and even that tank isn't out yet. Now, if you wait 5 extra seconds, that first big factory unit might be out already, or that first those double mines might be out. Every second counts with this build. We're going to use 5 Adepts to shade into the natural. And we're gonna try to kill workers. Usually there's a command center here with workers. We shade in the workers, not into the bunker. If there's no bunker, we can fight the Marines. Never fight the bunker with Marines in it. You're never attacking a bunker. Sometimes you'll have to move in range of the bunker to kill workers. But never, ever in a million years do we straight up fight into a bunker with those first 5 Adepts. We let the shade finish behind the mineral line, effectively denying all mining from occurring at the natural base. This is not a normal response, by the way. This was a kind of a blind counter by Cure. He tried to rush the fastest tank possible, fast second barracks as well, and even then he's already down 8 workers and he can't mine from his natural. Notice how Parting deals with this apparent hard counter. He warps in 3 more Stalkers. This is the first point of maybe a disagreement, but also I don't even really mind it. You can warp in 3 Stalkers or you can warp in 3 more Adepts. That is completely on you. If you feel like you're trading well behind the mineral line, you can get 3 more Adepts. If you feel like you need to jump on top of a bunker to kill some extra workers, I also prefer the Stalkers. And once these Stalkers are out, you might, in some cases, even be able to fight this bunker after you kill the workers. But that is rare cases. I do not recommend this generally. Generally, our focus is on killing low HP targets, Marines, SCVs, maybe a mine or a Hellion, but nothing else. Here we see Parting move in. Note that he is not attacking the bunker. He lets the bunker be for what it is, and he's focusing on targeting down these low HP units. He gets 3 SCVs and a couple of Marines. I think he got 1 or 2 Marines. 1 Marine, 1 Reaper. This trade, face value, was a bad trade. This is because his opponent blind countered him. This won't happen in your games 99% of the time. And if it does, tough luck, but you're still in an okay position. Parting is still up 9 workers. His follow-up after 8 units is to get a Twilight Council to add 2 extra gases as well. This will allow him to get Blink, a robotics facility, and perhaps even a 3rd base if he really wants to. The 3rd base can be a little bit dangerous though, so I do not recommend it if you do not feel comfortable with the timings in this build yet. The moment your Twilight Council finishes, you can start either Blink or Charge, depending on what you prefer. I think Blink is better in most situations, but I've sometimes see people follow up with Charge, especially against very early tank pushes. That can be quite powerful. You continue warping in Stalkers in case of the Blink scenario, and you try to stay on his side of the map, kiting your opponent's army all the way to your base if he decides to attack, using Blink as an aggressive tool to blink into the main base with an observer. Your follow-up will most likely consist of either a big charge lot Blink Stalker count, or if you prefer, you can throw down a robotics facility at this point, and you can go for a more invested Colossi well, not timing, more of his Colossi composition. This is the main build order. There's very many variations from here, but this sets you up into a relatively normal mid game. Note that the early game here for parting went as poor as it probably could have gone. His opponent hard countered him, and yet he's in an okay position. There is better builds probably than this. Things like 3-Rex come to mind, but all of these, if you just preserved your units well, you don't fight bunkers, you never target cyclones, you don't target tanks, you should be absolutely fine. Your first 5 adepts are the only units you should be okay with trading out because they skill poorly into a longer game. Never try to lose the stalkers. They're too good to throw away. I think that is going to be the main coverage of this build order. If there's any questions, I will be responding to questions in the comments below. So feel free to do that as well. This replay will be down in the comments below, and I might throw down 1 or 2 extra replays in there just to showcase this build. If you want to see more by yourself, you can download the IEM Katowice replay pack. Almost every single series that Parting plays against the Terran, he plays it at least once. Enjoy winning games. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you did like it, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Smash the like button, because the likes have been low, and I don't like that. Bye-bye.